Somebody call the doctor because Bad Medicine's back. Over there is Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today it is time to dive back into the fictional world of The Boys. This is season 4, episode 6, Dirty Business, and my has it been. Wow.
Oh, man, I am definitely ready, willing, and able to see the VOD 7 without any rules.
Yeah, look, this season has been pretty crazy so far, even from even for the boys, you know. Great story writing, great, just great overall everything. I'm loving this season.
I'm just ready for more chaos. Let's go!
Burn it down! Burn it down!
Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey, motherfucker.
We've been awfully patient with you. Get the job done.
Oh.
You just give us a list of what you need to extract the virus.
You cut off my fucking leg. I can't, Vicky, Zoe, I can't.
Oh.
You all right?
Yeah, right as rain. You got a week and make it strong enough to top Homelander.
A week. This could take months.
A week.
Until then, ta-ta.
The famous Beresford Hotel, out of where Ray finds his Chris Marshall pursued J-Lo's maid Marissa.
Made in Manhattan to her.
Oh, this must be where...
This is going to be a health code violation.
That's what he wanted. God, did he love Made in Manhattan?
Man, that movie sucks.
It's so bad.
Right?
It's so bad.
He's spreading his ashes.
I'm fine. Yeah.
They all came along. That's awesome.
Miko, our friend Frenchie just turned himself in for a bunch of murders he committed for this Russian mob boss, but Kimiko's upset that he didn't talk to her about it first.
Like so casually.
Who the fuck are you?
Abortion is murder! Hey! Go up, asshole!
Hey, I'm so sorry, Daphne. I'm so sorry. That man
we're
is
getting deep
a piece
here.
of shit to you.
Inmate's name and DIN. Inmate refused visitation.
Oh,
Next.
Oh, wow.
Frenchie really wants to be done.
Cameron Coleman has taken a sabbatical.
Sabbatical.
Are Jewish space lasers brainwashing you into joining their shoes?
This is wild.
Connect with almost affectionate attention toward the breath.
Growls.
Oh, that's why.
Oh, the burner.
Whoa. Slow down.
Toronto so we could talk. They killed Cameron Coleman because they thought that he was the fucking lead. I'm done.
All right. No one ever said this would be easy. Think about your brother, your nephews.
Who cares what my family thinks if I'm already fucking dead?
And let's process this shit together. This is so fucked. Homelander was seen putting suits together like
An army?
and then A-Train saw Tech Knight talking to Sage. Looked like they were planning something.
You want to talk to Tech Knight?
Now he's having a Federalist Society party tonight.
We could use Butcher.
Have you heard from him?
Motherfuckers MIA.
Maybe you should sit this out. You know, you've just been through so much with your dad.
I'm fine. Focusing on work is exactly what I need to do right now.
How are we supposed to sneak into an alt-right cocktail party?
Thought you'd never ask.
Web Weaver?
Who is this guy?
Where's the limey?
Wow.
Usually Beardy McBritish wants some dirt in exchange, but I'm fresh out unless there's another way I can pay.
Oh, jeez. Wink.
I'm pretty fucked up. No cap. Shoot it up my pooper, dog.
Motherfucker, you done lost your mind.
Jesus.
Oh, he really get it up in there, dog.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
Oh, shit. What?
That's my web hole. Oh, back up. Back it up.
Oh.
Poor M&M.
Hey,
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Good. Want some Purell or?
He's got
Ain't enough Purell in the fucking world. Much rogue hypnol I shot up his ass at least 48 hours. Hit his pants.
Oh, God. That was so...
Oh.
He's got a painting.
I love that picture.
The myth, the legend, the symbol of America.
Okay.
Please, we're all patriots here. This is Ryan, my son.
Real patriot.
How's that gavel, Mr. Speaker?
Well, it might have taken 18 rounds of voting, but we got there, didn't we? You know, sir, it's humbling to see your commitment to America.
Greatest country on earth.
My captain. It is such an honor to have you here. Can't you just smell the team up?
Sage and I might need you for the moment, but let's get one thing straight. There's no team up. We're not equals. You're pathetic. Can't even fly, for God's sakes. Come on, buddy.
Come on, buddy.
What part of you are an idiot child? Not welcome at the adult table, do you not understand?
Bro, I thought you knew everything. Tech Night invited me. We go way back.
You don't get this from entertainment money. This is real money. 11 generations money. The Vernon family started out as slave catchers. Now we own more private prisons than any other company in the US of A. Catch, house, rehab criminals. And then I catch them all over again. Holy shit. You know, I bet A-Train here would have given my great-great-granddaddy a run for his money.
Oh?
Huh?
Are you kidding me?
Dude, does anything surprise you on this show anymore? It's just like, of course.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know. He played that off cool, huh?
Is gonna laugh.
No one is gonna laugh.
She's trying to hold it in.
Guys, come on, you promised.
Oh my God.
Okay, you know what?
How did a junkie like Web Weaver score an invite to this anyway?
But A-Train said he's on the list. Good. It'll hide your scent from Tech Night. You don't want to give him any tells. Smell, vision, taste, touch.
He's gonna make Huey.
Just gotta work fast, kid. Take these bugs, put them all over the party, and lure Tech Night back here as soon as you can. We'll take care of the rest.
Oh, God.
Oh, how can this not go wrong?
Every 2 minutes, just say something, okay? Anything.
In Web Weaver's voice, mother.
Copy, dog.
They're going to ask him to do some kind of party trick or something.
Yeah.
Web Weaver. Master Knight's expecting you.
The mask on.
It's like the... Oh!
Of course it would.
That might be the... That might give him away, though, if you can't see it.
Just hurry up and plant the bugs, Huey.
Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
Uh-oh.
Madam Vice President-elect.
Web Weaver. It's quite a scent.
Web Weaver. You made it. Oh, it's so good to meet you in person. Finally. Really, I'm honored that you would even consider the sidekick gig.
That's great.
Oh, the whole.
Yep.
Let's get the tour started inside. Okay.
You look like you got asked by the business end of a hammer.
Oh, maybe I don't want to be at this CPAC nightmare any more than they want me.
There's going to be a little sidebar later on. 1% of the 1%. Sage here is going to lube them up with cognac and Monte Cristos and then convince them to commit a little high treason.
I'm sorry, what the why would I expose myself like that?
Because in this room is 38% of the U.S. GDP. And if we have a shot in hell of pulling off the 25th Amendment, we need them.
You want to be El Jefe or not? You hear about Stan Edgar? He got released from prison. Details are fairly sketchy as to why. Hasn't been seen since.
Well, he's nothing if not slippery. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. He can't hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
Got the original Beatrice Stowe, Uncle Tom's cabin. Cool. You want to see the tech cave?
The tech cave? Sure. I mean, yeah, dog.
The tech cave.
All I can think of is just holes everywhere.
Yep. Like the hole in his costume.
Is that why he invited him?
Probably.
Probably. Oh, poor Huey. Oh, Huey.
No.
Oh,
no.
Wow. Oh, he wants the web hole.
Yeah.
Oh
Raised
my
me
God.
since I lost my parents. He's like a dad to me.
Oh my God, they're doing the Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Tech Knight, Dark Knight. Yeah.
You didn't get all the Santorum off the gibbet cage.
We taking care of, sir?
We gotta pull him out.
No, look, just hold on.
You don't know it.
Who is that? This is my last sidekick. The whole culture down here is based on trust. You agitated?
No, I'm fine.
Tonight, we're really gonna push ourselves to your level.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Dude, you fucking nuts. I hate sake. But I'm supposed to follow some stupid black ninja bullshit, which makes no goddamn sense, by the way. You ever meet a black ninja?
Lower your voice.
There's nobody here. We don't matter.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm doing a ton of important shit.
Yeah?
Need to know, bro. Need to fucking know.
Done with all this shit.
You're quitting?
I don't understand noir. Okay, you know there was nothing in this closet but literally like 7 file boxes of shitty Buster Beaver drawings? I'm going to Missouri tomorrow. I can fly. Did you know that?
Yeah, dude, we all know that. Like, why didn't you just come to me?
About what?
Seriously? Me and the old noir? We were like great bros. Like real bros. Give me this. Noir cleared out an entire Indonesian fishing village. Vought Fresh Farms was expanding their palm oil plantation.
Oh my God.
Because they needed the river to survive or whatever the fuck. Noir canceled 24 of them. Came back with a raging heart on for a week. Dude, see, what you're not getting is how horny killing is the Some people laugh at me. When I crush someone's nose into the back of their skull or beat them so bad that they'll never walk again, they're not laughing anymore. Violence is power. I'm starting to get why I gave Noir so much chub.
This is the weirdest speech I've ever heard.
It's just encouraging.
It is the deep.
And what I mean by encouraging, he's encouraging him.
MM!
But what if we go in there and we blow that man's cover?
Homelander is in there. I'm going in. Can we go?
I'm gonna move clarity forward through mindfulness. And a gang of halothane to go with it.
Oh, that is some nasty shit to be coughing up.
Are you all right?
Oh, it's moving.
I'm fine.
How you chopped off an innocent man's leg. Does that sound fine to you?
It's the only way.
Have you talked to Ryan? Are you even trying to get him out anymore? This is just the same old bloodlust all over again.
Jesus Christ, you're doing me fucking head in. Claret's gonna get spilt. I can't do what needs to be done and keep you happy.
You're gonna kill one Homelander, just end up with another.
Don't be a time thief. It must be to make sure you work.
Well, MM better have some serious toys if they're going to go in there with all these soups.
Oh, no.
We know if it's legitimate, the woman's body has a way to reject that pregnancy. A nationwide ban on abortion is just good policy.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
That's a
Dream sequence.
Dream sequence.
I just had abortion mansplained to me by a guy who refuses to be alone with any woman who isn't his wife or mistress. Cozying up to these people, you're fucking asking me to do the impossible here.
When I was 11, my grandma was diagnosed with stage 3 chronic lymphocytic leukemia. She had the biggest laugh. She's bedridden. The doctors didn't care about saving some old ex-Black Panther. They told my parents there was nothing to be done. I stayed up the next 3 nights, discovered a cure, presented my research to those satisfied fat crackers. They patted me on the head, said I was adorable, and laughed at me. Grandma died screaming in pain.
Wow.
I could cure cancer, reverse global warming, but what's the point? Humans are animals. And the lines at Vaultland are too long as it is.
Why are you telling me this?
Because you remember what it's like being a little girl who no one fucking listens to. Look at them all.
Well, I don't think Sage is a plant to take down the 7.
One hand in their pockets while the other slits their fucking throats. You in or out?
Man,
well, that's her. Well,
Newman has been put in a really wild position in this episode.
It's a great party, huh? It's kind of a private conversation. I'm sure the bar has some Sunny D in Everclear.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, Sunny D, all right.
Sunny D and never.
Oh, no.
Master Knight.
For the texture against the bare cheeks, right?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Go.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Huey.
What is going on?
No, Huey, what are you? Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
This?
Yes, he's a friggin' squat cobbler.
I don't even know what a squat. I don't even. Why do you know what the?
You never saw Better Call Saul?
No.
Oh. Well,
No.
there you go.
No. I've never heard that term in my life.
Yeah, I'm fine though.
You started without me.
We are just getting started.
Oh, my God.
Sandpaper.
Oh.
What is this episode? Is so unreal.
Really do look like warmed up shit. Now we got to give Samir credit.
Yo, Craig. Man, you might know what was harder for me than going off on that last tour. Coming home. Helping Joe Jr. with his trick. Fucking towel shopping. Everywhere I looked, I saw the faces. The ruined faces of those men that you and me tortured and killed. So see, I couldn't square up who I was at home with the shit that I'd done. Came to me. Crystal, that guy that was taking out the trash and watching Sports Center. That wasn't me. The real me likes to hear him scream. Who's the real you?
Oh,
no.
Oh, he's letting
Huey.
it all happen.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna sit my swollen on your stupid masked face and piss like a skunk. And I just had a spirit.
Oh, Jesus.
They are just trying so hard.
I'm gonna bite your off and cook it. I am 100% a cannibal.
If Webweaver wants you to stop, he'll use a safe word.
Oh, God.
And he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Spiderweb! Oh, sorry. I just like to shout stuff out while I'm being tickled. I'm so fucking turned on right now.
She still feels like the old white trash girl. Like
Well, I think if
called
they
her
keep treating
before.
her like shit, she's going to turn on them.
Yeah, she does not like how she's being treated there. Talked down to, condescended upon. She feels like she's right back where she started.
Oh,
I'm not here for you.
These two are going to team up.
They are.
Why don't you come over here and try and sucker punch me now, bitch? I'm about to change your fucking life. I'm sorry for what I did to you when we were kids. Let me guess, that was Starlight, right? And that's not you anymore. No. I tried to run away from Starlight. She saw me and I said those fucking awful things to you. And if I'm being honest, to other girls too. And look, it doesn't forgive you for being a cunt for what you did. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Wait a sec.
Well, so much for the team up. This little knockout shot.
Dude, she was getting to her.
Yeah, she was. I
so.
still think she's going to end up turning on Homelander and company.
God, you still got it, Mommy. You still got it. Look upstairs. Replenish your fluids.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
Everything's fine. You having a good time?
Oh, yeah. So much dried cum. You just, you tap my undies, they'll shatter like peanut brittle, man. Hey, so, did I get the gig?
Just one last thing. What's your safe word?
I'm probably gonna save that for something I really can't handle. But yeah, I'm good.
Oh.
Body's riddled by horrifilation. It's the thing that you love the most. Say it.
Lube.
You're Huey Campbell. Not only am I going to get points for catching you, but
no.
before I let the big guy know that you're down here. You were my favorite hero as a kid. Everybody always has the same holes. Sometimes you just got to make your own.
Oh.
And then fuck them.
No. What a sick motherfucker.
Wow.
Don't you fucking move.
All I have to do is scream.
Be the last thing you do. You smart, but you ain't bulletproof.
But if you kill me, you'd have to look Janine in the eye.
Look at her trying to manipulate here.
Mm-hmm.
Been watching my daughter?
That means she gets that from you. Chip off the whole block. You curse the poor girl.
No.
Oh!
He did it!
Oh!
Yeah, but her brain heals, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The 120
20 days of...
Wait. Is he having a heart attack?
panic attack.
Well, he was going like this with his left.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he did have a heart attack.
Look, this is a white Christian nation founded on white Christian values. They don't see.
Oh my God, the stuff they're throwing at A-Train with this.
They're testing them.
It's so unreal.
Y'all are supposed to be undercover.
Yep, she healed.
Damn.
Now she knows he's the leak.
Oh, no, I'm not taking him. You're gonna get me murdered. Let's try it, bitch.
And they're
Ma'am? What the hell just happened?
Oh, hurry up! Hurry up!
I cannot believe this.
Oh, there?
Oh my God.
Oh,
and
there.
Oh my God.
I want you to keep fighting.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. Thank you, Kimiko.
Oh, seeing A-Train save somebody for real.
Saw him do a save.
That's awesome. Damn it, we're losing A-Train.
Yep.
We're so losing A-Train.
Oh, he just about had his redemption arc. Well, as much as you can in The Boys.
What is going on?
I once ate a whole bag of candy corn.
Oh, her brain.
Oh.
Sage, what the fuck? What happened to you?
Brain damage.
But now I could really go for a Crunchwrap Supreme and a Sibian.
Get a grip on yourself.
That's right, the whole plan.
Fuck it. Do it myself.
Can't count.
No.
Can't count on anybody but yourself.
Sure you're wondering why we pulled you aside, so let's get right to it. I think we can all agree that Robert Singer is the greatest threat this nation has ever faced. He is going to destroy this whole country.
Does she agree?
Of course. Especially her. She's an integral part of the plan. She sees up close what a doddering slave to the woke mob Singer really is, how great the threat really is. So once he's in office, we need to act. We need to invoke the 25th Amendment, talking about saving this country before Singer replaces us with a bunch of transgender illegals that will do everything.
Save the boogeyman shit for the idiots watching VNN. How do you propose to handle the Justice Department?
Oh, no.
And the military's reaction?
Or OPEC?
There is going to be some birth pains.
Shock to the markets would be total.
And what happens if civil servants resign en masse? With all due respect, sir, I think you got a little hitch in your giddy-up. Who's handling all this?
Newman's gonna step up.
Well, and he can't say Sage is gonna be handling it because she's still Doom.
Who's handling all this? Me. Look, I'm sure you're all wondering why I'm here tonight instead of rimming out AOC while shouting, defund the police up her asshole. But I'm here tonight to tell you the truth.
Everything has been in this episode.
Yeah.
Truth is, America's not a democracy. The word democracy makes people feel safe. But the founders never trusted the masses because the truth is the masses are fucking stupid. Anyone who owns a live, laugh, love mug shouldn't have a say in how a country is run.
Hey, those were big for a minute.
That need a kind but firm hand. There are no nations. There's Apple, Exxon, and Berkshire Hathaway. You should be able to operate without any regulation or restriction whatsoever. Bottom line, you support me, and that is what you'll fucking get.
God, she is great as Sage. I think he was like 2 seconds away from lasering.
That's what I think. Everybody.
I want to know who that sidekick is.
You've been secretly meeting with Sage.
Oh!
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Hurt me. Squeeze him.
How do you torture a masochist?
Oh.
Claudio, get help, boy.
You know, you guys could just.
Oh.
All of his bank accounts. Just needs a retinal scan.
Access granted.
All right, let's see. How do you... 40 million to Elizabeth Warren's super PAC. How's that sound?
65 million to the Innocence Project. 100 million to Black Lives Matter.
Not those people. They made me a deal. Okay.
What deal? Do it.
No, please, to use my prisons. They need places across the country to put their dissidents. I don't know anything else.
He's talking about internment camps.
Hey! Stop! What are you doing?
Back.
I raised this entitled piece of shit. I listened to him moan about his career with prison camps. No, it'll make it look like an accident. He always admired David Carradine.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Are they really believing this?
Zendaya. The safe word.
Oh my
God.
Web Weaver, Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Zendaya, dating Tom
Heart
Holland.
attack, huh? How bad is it, Doc?
Not quite. Panic attack.
Okay.
Panic attack.
Consider this the universe's warning, Mr. Milk. Whatever you're doing, stop it before you really have a heart attack.
Yeah, I thought it was a panic attack, but you're right about the left arm.
Because he was doing that, but
Yeah.
I like that they also put in there that like you can confuse it too.
Yeah, the only reason why I thought that is because he kept doing the left hand.
Same.
I'm sorry, but I just don't think your inmate wants to see you.
Where were you last night?
Starlight was at the mansion. I chased her outside, but the bitch got away. Tech Knight's dead.
Well.
Probably Starlight and her friends did it.
Cameron Coleman wasn't the leak.
So either Sage was lying to you.
Yep, because she hates Sage.
I heard about her performance last night, sir. I just want you to know that.
So you're the one that let Starlight get away.
That's not.
So how do I know that you're not the leak?
Oh.
My podcast had, I don't know, a couple hundred fans, and folks laughed. Now I'm the fucking anchor at VNN with millions of followers, and they ain't laughing no more. Now I have spent my whole life on the outside looking in. Or you brought me in. God, you have given me everything. You are everything to me.
What are you doing? I am not sexually attracted to you.
I'm sitting about sex. This
Oh boy.
This not loyalty.
The old breast milk.
You're not pregnant.
A long regimen of drugs a person can take to make it happen. Enlarges the heart just a tiny little bit.
You did this for me?
I do anything for you.
Jesus. Shout out to the people who in the previous episodes commented what the drug
the drug
they found was.
Oh my God.
Anyone who owns a live, laugh, love mug shouldn't have a say in how a country is run. People are a labor force.
Do you think Vicky knows about the internment camps? I knew shit was bad. I just did not know how bad.
Ashley rubbed one out while she tickled my feet. She said so many horrible things. I miss him, Annie. I miss my dad.
Okay, now that's where that got real there. Comedy turned into...
Yeah, I don't like the way they did that.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that at all.
Looky here. Christmas came early, Samir.
Should be enough to get you started.
I won't do it.
Fuck you won't.
One dose, strong enough to top Homelander. And then you can go back to what's the name, and you don't got to see me no more.
He's looking like shit.
Yeah. Look at his eyes.
To make the virus strong enough to kill Homelander would evolve into something unstable.
What you mean unstable?
Airborne, highly contagious, super lethal. No one with Compound V in their bloodstream would be safe.
A global fucking pandemic.
We're talking about killing every soup on Earth.
Annie, Kamiko.
Ryan, Vicky, Zoe.
Well, season 1 Butcher would have wanted that.
Yeah, no good.
Man, dude just gave us a silver bullet. We can wipe them all out.
Good and evil. Good and evil. Good and evil.
Who was it that said they all gotta go? Every last one of them.
He's talking about murder. I know you.
Shut your fucking cake hole.
There's
There
the
it is,
revelation.
the reveal.
Wait a minute. You can see her. The fuck's that supposed to mean? You're me. I mean, out of all the fucking people that your festering, fucked up brain could have conjured up, you picked me.
Negan, there's the lean.
Yep.
He's dead in the Panchir Valley, motherfucker. You never dragged me out. You left me to die.
Get Ryan's head clear, and that's it. Patch you up, right in his brain.
No. Unless, of course, you got a big old fat V-up brain tumor, which is why you are seeing me in the first place. I killed Ezekiel for you. I am you. So don't you worry, Billy, my boy. Daddy's home.
Oh.
All I saw was Negan right there
Yep.
with the old lean.
Oh,
that's
that's the ender.
Yeah, that's a cold ending for them. That's not typical.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, that was
All right.
The Boys.
A few things
At
to unpack.
season 6. And, right off the bat, the reveal with Jeffrey Dean Morgan not being real, to me, that didn't have like a Walter White level Notebook on the toilet reveal type thing, because I think we all kind of knew he was a hallucination at this point. I mean, they dropped enough hints there for that. So for me,
Question for you, Quinn.
Yeah.
Were you having that expectation to be like a grandiose reveal? Because for me, because I feel like that Walter White on the toilet seat was like mind-blowing, like, oh my God, versus this was a slow ramp.
It was a slow,
But no, the issue I had with it is the way it felt
Also,
like it
that
was
was
made
over
to
like
be.
70 episodes. That build up, not just 4.
The way that I felt that it was here was that they built that up to be like some grand reveal of the finish, and I'm like, yeah, and so I knew that. That's not. It wasn't a big deal to me. Like it was as it was revealed through Butcher in the show. For me, it wasn't that the big ender that was like, oh my goodness, can you believe that? It didn't have that effect for me because we already kind of speculated. So to me, that was kind of not the biggest deal, I guess. I mean, I'll say right off the bat, for me, I felt this episode was probably the weakest one of the season. And that could be just because episode 5 was so good. It kind of was very nostalgic of everything we love about The Boys, episode 5. And this one, whereas normally The Boys does an amazing job with carrying multiple storylines and telling a great story. For me, this one just felt a little bit off. It just didn't have something, and I can't put my finger on it, and maybe some of you folks in the comments could help me out. But that being said, here's a whole nother twist with the idea of Sage for me. She's sitting in her apartment until Homeland comes to get her, and
Homelander.
What did I say?
Homeland.
You just didn't hear me.
Yeah, right.
Till Homelander comes to get her, and it's like she has this whole thing planned, and she's the brains behind everything. She takes the shot to the head from MM, and then reverts back to the comical version of Sage, I guess we'll say. And it's just interesting. Did she know that all of this had a chance to play out the way it did? Because again, she's such a wild card in here, because we had speculated that possibly was she brought in to take down the 7? Does she have that angle going?
We
and I there was speculation at this table. Don't act like you didn't. I know you floated that idea, Diamond Dave, a few episodes ago of was she coming in there, and I believe Oak
No,
did.
I was against Oak. I was saying she wasn't.
That was me.
It was somewhere on that side of the table, but anyway,
It was a Dave.
But anyway,
Dave thing. It was a
so
Dave.
that's another interesting turn of okay. We
just how
see
he-
that probably wasn't the point. I did like seeing A-Train finally being a hero when he brought MM to the hospital. That was kind of cool. It's so tough, right? Because everybody on The Boys has done such terrible things throughout 4 seasons. When you start to feel a little bit of compassion for somebody, you're like, oh yeah, that's right. A-Train killed his girlfriend, shot her up with a bunch of needles. He's a terrible person. Well, everybody on this show is a terrible person. I just think it's the various levels of where you look at and are they being good in this moment? I almost think that's the angle that I have to take when I'm watching it. And JDM was Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We use his abbreviations. I thought he was the MVP of this episode. He was just bringing out everything we expect from him as an actor. Again, the reveal wasn't really a surprise to me. And then to kind of play off what I said earlier, and I'm going to wrap it up here because I know I'm going long. I want to get the other guys some time here.
No.
When I said that I felt this was the weakest episode of the season so far, there was so much over the top and absurdity that we normally get from The Boys that to me seems to play in really well to the episode. And I don't know if you folks maybe felt the same way. Let me know in the comments. But it seemed like, from my standpoint, a lot of the over-the-top absurd stuff, the tie-ins to modern-day things that are going on, a lot of the the racial stuff with A-Train, it almost seemed kind of shoehorned in there, whereas The Boys normally doesn't do that. So this episode is just a bit of a head-scratcher for me in the way emotions were kind of played with and the way things almost felt a little bit forced. That's normally not their style. So again, that's it for me. A bit of a head scratcher on this episode. Definitely not one of my favorite ones of the season so far.
I figured it out why you loved episode 5 so much. Will Ferrell was in it. So that's why he loved episode 5 so much. He just loves Will Ferrell so much. You can insert a disclaimer right here on the bottom that's why he put it over the top. No, this one, like, it wasn't until I saw the comments where people were kind of speculating that that Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Kessler was an hallucination. So then when I really started to watch him every time, I made sure I looked at his clothes and he had the same jacket, same tie, just undone and unbuttoned down to here every episode. So I made sure I looked at it again today. And then for this episode, what was great too is the slapping at the beginning to wake up the doctor. I thought that it was Kessler did, so I was gonna be like, look, he's not. And then they pan out, of course it was Butcher, because you heard Kessler talking and you went into that.
A lot of fake.
So him being a hallucination, I thought it was a nice reveal because yes, we didn't have that lead up, but it was only a couple episodes of it being but now you see that he has Becca telling him to do the right thing, and then Kessler to do, essentially what I think is the wrong thing, because you made a comment during the reaction that it was like, well, Butcher season 1 would have said, take them all out. I mean, that was pretty much his phrase throughout the first season was delete them all. Delete them all. Go. And so now he has a relationship with the rest of the boys, that have abilities. And then obviously Ryan, he wants to, for Becca, he wants Ryan to be set up right and raised right. So, now he's got those two mulling around in his head as why he should, because he wants to take them all out, but he loves Ryan because, he loves Becca, and I think he's going to grow more and more love and appreciation for Ryan, so he doesn't want to do that. And then you had a firecracker where we thought, oh, maybe Starlight is getting to her, only for the big reveal that she's been taking, which good catch by you guys, that she had been taking drugs to be able to lactate, so that way she could feed Homelander milk. And then we saw that with all the powers in the world, he could still be taken down by milk. That's his big weakness, is that he loves to be fed milk in such a way, so that
in that way.
Because we saw, remember, he had the hidden compartment of milk.
Yeah.
Well, then it turns out now that he can get it from Firecracker, like that's gonna because she felt, like she was the dimwit of the group and pushed under, because Sage even was like telling her, and like even when she came over for the conversation, this is a big boy conversation, get out.
Well, that's why we thought Starlight might turn her.
Yeah,
there for half a second. There was a lot of that this episode.
So yeah, and then I think it was huge for A-Train to get that save, because him and Ashley are, no, Ashley is whatever, but Ashley didn't know that was Huey. So you have that whole thing with that, but A-Train made a real save, and he saw the joy on the young kid. So I think if he was teetering on whether or not to help the boys, I think now that he saw that and he felt good about that, maybe I think that's going to start making him teeter more and more towards the boys and do the right things, so to speak. But yeah, you can call it weak or whatever. I still thought it was a good episode, and I still rather enjoyed it, like every episode of The Boys I've ever seen.
Yeah, this was an interesting episode for me. There was a lot of good things about it. Some things that, personally I was like, maybe not the best. I felt, for the first time watching The Boys, I felt some of the stuff that's, relatable to what's going on in our country right now did feel a little bit forced. You kind of, look, we're living here in America. Stuff is wild right now. I'm not going to get too much further into it than that. But so some of the stuff we've seen earlier on are like, okay. Maybe a little forced, but look, the one thing that the show hasn't done, and they'll continue to not do, is shy away from uncomfortable topics. I think uncomfortable is probably the best word to describe this entire episode and kind of how it made you feel. Like, look, we're 4 seasons in now. You're cringy and uncomfortable is what they do best. So there was some of that. Starting off, it's interesting. Answer brought up that kind of misdirection, like. They showed JDM's point of view and then immediately cut to Butcher. And I'm going to disagree with Mason Quinn a little bit, about the reveal. And the reason why is because I think sometimes shows try to do so much misdirection. We watch these shows where they build you up and then, but no, it's this person. And I think when it started, we were like, holy shit, it's JDM. That's awesome. And they didn't leave a lot. And then they just little by little by little. I think by the last couple episodes, we started kind of figuring it out. So I like that they kind of confirmed what we thought, because I think so many movies and TV shows, but plot twists, and it was like there wasn't. And I like the way they did it, where they brought in Becca and JD. I just call him JDM, like
Kessler.
Kessler. But I liked the way they had them confront each other, and then it was nice to pull back and see somebody else watching him basically talk to himself, which is what we would have been seeing the entire time. I didn't mind that reveal. Again, I was kind of like, okay, it was nice that they didn't pull the old giant misdirection, which I actually thought they were going to do, like Answer did at the beginning when they showed him talking to him. I'm like, oh, they're going to finally show some interaction. And I'm like, but then you start thinking, like, how is he with him everywhere and nobody else is like, hey, who's the new guy? Look, the party was super uncomfortable. Again, without getting into it too much, I think this is representative of, look, there's people with whole lots of money that are in very powerful positions, pulling strings that we maybe don't see on a day-to-day basis.
Amazon wasn't mentioned in any of those corporations they were talking about.
Right?
Interesting.
But look, the whole scene with Web Weaver and Huey and Tech Knight and stuff. That was interesting to me. Like, they did this whole Bat Cave / 50 Shades of Grey, which I've never seen or read 50 Shades of Grey, but if you're on social media at all, that look, this is kind of, that's my take, is it was like a mix between the Bat Cave and 50 Shades of Grey. But that was uncomfortable. Like, they tried, Huey knew he had to play the role, and I'm surprised how far they had Huey just play along with it. This is, I think, the first time I didn't like something that the boys has done, and maybe the writers did it because they wanted that uncomfortable reaction. The whole scene in the dungeon or whatever was they played it up very kind of uncomfortable / comical with Ashley's behavior and Tech Knight's behavior and the butler, and then they went with a really hard turn after that with Huey missing his dad.
Yeah, when he's always talking to Starlight.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, like, look, this is very off-brand humor. I shouldn't say off-brand, shock humor, whatever you want to call it. But to go from like, that's a hard like 180 right there. To go from like a super awkward, dungeon situation, which look, and I'm just for the sake of addressing it, I'm just going to address it. Like, as far as everybody else in that dungeon knew, like this was a consensual meetup with Webweaver, right? And at no point did Huey be like, hey, stop, like, bye, like, of course he was playing with his safe words to see if they got it, but who would have known it was Zendaya, which I wouldn't have even caught that it was Zendaya, excuse me, Zendaya. I wouldn't have even caught the Spider-Man thing, of course, answer the Marvel super fan. I know. I get it's not a real like whatever reveal. It just wasn't something that popped for me right away. But yeah, the fact that Huey played along with it as much as he did was interesting. It made for some very uncomfortable stuff. But that turn with him missing his dad right at the end, I think they could have, because they had him earlier saying, he thinks like burying himself in his work is the best thing to do in that circumstance. And some people, look, everybody grieves in their own ways. Some people need time down. Some people need time to mourn. Some people try to get back to their regular lives as friends and family. Some people bury themselves in work. Huey chose to bury himself in his work. But again, the flip there was interesting. The one moment that I really did like from this episode is A-Train finally getting like a real save, and like, he wasn't sure, like he was so unsure of what that kid was going to do, and smiled and realized he got in the save. And ironically, I think that I don't know how much longer A-Train's going to be around because as we saw in the end, Homelander talking about, hey, we have a different leak, and now they have to figure out who it is. Of course, Firecracker doesn't like the way that Sage treated her, so she was kind of pointing the finger at Sage. That was really interesting at the end. My take on the whole Homelander, Madeline Stillwell and now Firecracker thing, it doesn't. I don't think it has anything to do with breast milk at all. I think it has to do with somebody being in an extreme position of power, quite possibly the most powerful person in the world, wanting to be in some sort of like I don't know if submissive is the right word, vulnerable position. And we had these previous episodes where they talked about like Homelander wasn't raised with a normal mother, right? He was raised in no family, in a room or whatever. We saw with Stillwell, he was very jealous of the other child. I don't know if now looking back, I don't know if that was necessarily even like a guy wanting more time with a female versus he was just jealous of the child for the relationship that he had with his mother. And now we see it wasn't even about him having the breast milk, which is kind of like, okay, they hinted it earlier on, and maybe not hinted, they might have slapped us in the face with it, but showing it in the cooler and everything. But now we saw him in the position on her lap like that, and it very much became obvious, like, look, here's a person in a position of extreme power who they said in so many episodes needs love and whatever, but he also I don't want to say enjoys, but needs that vulnerability, and now she's providing that to him. So this is going to create a whole different dynamic, I think, between Sage and Firecracker, especially with Sage having, I don't want to say drop the ball. Look, she took a bullet to the head. So, but yeah, it was there were some things I really liked about the episode, some things that I didn't like. I won't say it's my favorite episode, but look, it's the boys. It's par for the course.
I don't even know. I'm still even having some time with these guys talking. For now, I think I'll go. I feel like I need a day to really to really think about it, not 15 minutes or whatever. But so this review of mine is going to suck because I'm going to bounce all over and probably not even touch on a lot.
I think we all kind of did that.
Yeah.
Though. I think this is. I think collectively this is probably one of the toughest ones to review because of a lot of
just so
factors.
much happened. Again, I'll say this is out of all the episodes that I've watched of The Boys, this one was probably the most uncomfortable for me. And I don't even know if that's in a good way or a bad way. And I want to highlight my sense of humor. My sense of humor in awkward situations is to laugh. I know some other folks that are the same way. I think even some other reactors are the same way. I think Greg is one of them that I know, and I think he's admitted that too. But in certain situations and uncomfortability, for the awkward, I'm just going to label it as awkward humor for now. I tend to laugh. Some of the stuff in here was just wild. The Homeland. Well, first, let me start with my uncomfortability. I was really uncomfortable with the Tech Knight A-Train conversation. Well, Tech Knight speaking to A-Train. That dialogue was very uncomfortable for me because that was definitely touching the racist tones there. Well, it was.
It seemed very over the top.
It was.
Cartoonish.
It didn't. I don't think it really needed to be in there. But it's The Boys, so expect the unexpected or expect everything, I guess. Again, the whole episode was kind of uncomfortable. Interesting parts in this. Homelander and Tech Knight in the beginning. It gave me the whole like Superman, Batman vibe a little bit, just because it's like in Bruce's mansion and all that other jazz. So let me know if you guys thought that same or if I'm way off, because that vibe kind of got me there a little bit. An interesting moment for Huey spreading the ashes on Made Manhattan.
That was a nice.
That was
point,
interesting little tidbit there. MM and Webweaver. Wow. Way to push the boundaries there on that one. Butcher.
Not enough Purell in the world.
And to you, Quinn, with the whole Butcher JDM Kessler reveal. Again, that's why I was kind of asking, like, I mean, two different things, right? There was a huge reveal in the Breaking Bad, but here this was kind of like a very, very slow ramp up where they were kind of dropping the nuggets a little bit. So disagree with you on that, but otherwise, pretty decent reveal too, because they did a good job for me of making me guess, is it real or is it, in his mind? And then the last episode really kind of solidified it 99% for me that it was an hallucination. So I enjoyed that reveal. That was pretty cool. But the big news for me out of this one was them rehashing the whole airborne virus. Now you got Butcher rethinking a lot of stuff. Now I know all the comic book peeps probably know way more than I do in this, which is fantastic. So if you can give me some tidbits without spoiling, cool. If you can't, because it is spoilerish, please don't. But I do think now Butcher is probably going to rethink, because he's already thinking about it, rethink his plan to where if it, I got to assume now, because he doesn't want anything happen to Ryan, that the airborne virus is out of the picture. But now how does he rebound it to where he can still take out Homelander? But that was also a good question that, she came up with too, like, you take out one Homelander,
that was
you're going to bring back another Homelander.
Well, that was curious, because what does she mean by that? All the soups are dead. Who's the new Homelander?
I think that's very
before she
repetitive.
knew. That was before she knew that
it would take out everybody. Okay.
Before the airborne virus.
Okay, I'm trying to replay it.
I think that's
Like I said, I'm
representative.
bouncing everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it's
so.
representative of a lot of whether you want to talk about gang violence or certain countries where things are a little crazier. Like you have a bad leader and you're like, let's get rid of this leader. We got to get rid of the leader, and it's like you never know what number two in charge is like, and I mean there was there's a lot of points in history where it's like, hey, we just gotta take out the main bad guy, and it's like you better be careful because you never know who's gonna step up and fill in their place.
Yeah, and interesting too here, to your point, Quinn, everyone on this show has pretty much done at some point some horrible shit, whether we've seen it on screen or not, because they've acknowledged it in like a backstory or whatever. But it was a nice moment to see A-Train finally have somebody in a kid see him saving someone, and then having that eye connection moment, and then A-Train finally, like, you could see in his face like, oh, it happened. Finally happened. But then that's the moment where I'm like, A-Tray's done.
Done.
Because they gave him his moment. Now, because I have a feeling when Sage got popped and she's gone, I got to imagine she saw or knows something. But considering the other side of that, the state that she was in after,
she may not.
There may have been that like brief moment of where no one knows anything about A-Train.
She doesn't. Yeah,
I'm hoping out for that.
Because we don't know her level of consciousness when her brain is wiped out. We don't know how much of her is there.
Well, because doesn't she not even acknowledge like the deep after they had their fun time the first time she did the lobotomy? Like, did she even really remember that? Soon as that wiped the memory of that time.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and
it could be very well. I could also be totally wrong.
Who knows, boys? Who knows? With the the bullet going through the head, in my head at that moment, I'm like, oh, it's done. But then you guys brought it up. The
brain regenerates,
and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Because I guess I thought something with maybe that would be different for her.
Yeah, than just
scraping
around in there.
Scraping around. I thought for sure maybe the bullet would, just
and
shut
is the
it down.
bullet
But
still
it did not.
there?
It maybe, I don't know.
Or did it eventually
Folks, let us know on that
brain
one.
push it back out?
Yeah, and the Sage moment with Newman too, to lead up to Newman having that speech, which is now recorded, so that's going to be interesting to see what happens out of that. I don't know, you could say it's encouraging / manipulation-ish, because the way she was bringing up like her facts, her truth, right? For what she thought about, but Newman was just taking it in. That nodding between Sage and Newman, that was actually pretty funny. The way she just kept going back and forth.
All her face and in her hand.
Again, I've said it before, Newman is one of my most interesting characters in here because she is a wild card of the show. There's other wild cards too, but I just, the way her position in the show, where she's at politically and with her being a soup, just makes for an interesting dynamic. So now that she's stepped up for Homelander there, that's going to be interesting. And then the whole firecracker, lactating, just all wild. Again, uncomfortable episode. I'm not saying I hated it or loved it. It's uncomfortable. I feel like I need a day before I really hash. So I apologize if I missed anything. This was carrying a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there was two things that I wanted to just one. I completely missed it. I think they're setting something up for Noir. Answer, I think you said. Did you say that or that?
They're doing something.
I think there's something with Noir. Maybe during the reaction, they're setting something up with Noir because I mean, man, like the fact that they showed that long of a clip and he was ready to be out, and like I don't think they would have given him that much screen time to just talk about how he was going to go somewhere else and have Deep feed him that stuff. And then we also learned Noir can fly. So we don't really know what this guy can do. Like we didn't know he had any. He can fly. Okay, well, how many other? How many can fly? So kind of the flying, from what we've seen, there's kind of this correlation of a higher level of powers. And the other thing, like this is a nitpick. Okay. Given everything that happened in the Batcave, for lack of a better term.
Hey, Colby, you crushed it, by the way.
Tech cave.
The tech cave.
You don't disparage Batman like that.
Yeah, don't.
And they knew Web Weaver had in the small of his back.
Yeah, that's
a hole in the suit.
Costume, yeah.
Would there not at any point throughout that whole interaction been noticeable that the hole in the back of the suit, given the position that Huey was in, was just a normal lower back? Like I know this is really nitpicking. Like when he walked in.
No, that was the first thing I thought of when he got in the elevator, because they showed it.
He gets in the elevator, he walks in, then he's in the position he's in. Obviously, with Tech Knight's past, we know nothing is off limits. You think like that would have been very noticeable right away, that his web abilities weren't visible, especially in that position. So that threw me off a little bit. Was that like a detail where they were like, hey, we're just gonna run with it. Maybe the fans will pick it apart, but maybe I'm overanalyzing. But I think like given that is his superpower, that is his crazy thing, is he's got that big on the middle of his lower back where he can shoot webs out of. They showed us obviously earlier. Like you think that would have been very well noticed in that particular situation, but maybe that's just me.
Oh, and real quick too, with the kind of like rolling off with what you said, because I feel like I should say it. For like my laughter on the Huey moment there with Annie at the end, I thought that was a buildup of the comedy of like, she said some really horrible things, Ashley.
Yeah.
But you're right. When it took that hard turn,
Yeah.
into him saying I miss my dad, that's when it hit like, oh wow, this isn't funny anymore. Maybe he really is like fully traumatized, because I couldn't tell if Huey was actually starting off to be somewhat funny, but when that moment happened, it was like, okay, he's not being funny.
Yeah, like he was his dad, and then she's like, okay, then I gotta
Well, and
take
that was kind of the whole
Huey.
theme of this episode, was that they would start one way with it, and then they'd throw a twist at you, all the way down to with the JDM Butcher hand slap that, you know, they kind of faked us out on. There was a lot of fake outs on this episode, and again, my complaints about some of the over the top stuff that was like almost cartoonish level, that, because I've always said my biggest thing with the boys, and then I'll kick it over to you, Oak. My biggest thing with the boys is they do all the outrageous, crazy, grotesque, just ridiculous stuff, right? But the writing was always so good that was the substance that was what made it good. And for me, that's my complaint with this episode, is I didn't think the story kept up nearly enough to justify the over-the-top, the grotesque stuff they did, the questionable racial stuff, which is like, why would Tech even say that to A-Train, and A-Train just sit there and take it when it's never really been like that before. It was like an over-the-top Saturday morning cartoon bad guy type
think
thing,
look,
you know?
And obviously him saying I'm not fine too.
Without getting too political, obviously it was they wanted to touch into the whole generational wealth in America type thing, and you know that. But I agree. Like, I definitely get where Mason Quinn is coming from, because it felt like the story was always so dynamic, and the over the top stuff was whatever. And it felt like they relied a little bit, at least for me, they relied a little bit more on the over the top stuff and a little bit less on the story for this episode. But I thought there was some great story stuff. I thought the way they did the reveal, I thought was good. I thought the Homelander now finding himself in another position where he can take that vulnerable role, I think that's going to be very interesting, because for a while that was gone for him, and they showed a very, very strong attachment to Stillwell earlier on in this season, and he's completely lost that vulnerable role. And then they showed him going back to the old place. Maybe he's moving forward, and now he's finding himself back into that role of vulnerability. And yeah, I mean, even to a whole different level, because from what I recall in the earlier seasons, Stillwell would give him his little cups and stuff, but now he's like straight up breastfeeding from Firecracker. So I think it's a very interesting, some of the writing I think was good, some of it I felt again mixed feelings, and Diamond Dave said it, just an uncomfortable episode, a little bit more so than...
I know we didn't hit on everything.
Yeah, we used from the boys.
There was a lot.
Yeah,
but,
a lot.
Answer's going to wrap it up and say, there was a lot.
This was an interesting episode, to say the least. So for Diamond Dave Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm, of course, Answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.